Hey everybody, Scott here for the Digital Guitar Playground. It's Monday, and today, in my never-ending quest, nay, mission, to create presets that have seamless switching, because that is the only kind of presets I'm going to use on the FM3 and the FC6, because that's just how I need to have my systems work. So, for recording, who gives a shit? But for live use, rehearsals, things like that, I am not going to deal with a gap. Never. Just not going to do it. So today, I'm going to show you how to use a pair of overdrives in front of an amp that's pushed to the point of breaking up. It's an amp that could be a good crunch amp, and historically is a great crunch amp. It's 100 watt plexi jumped, but set clean. I guess this is clean. This is heavier. I don't know. What are hands? I tried it with single overdrives, but none of the individual overdrives really cut it for me. And coming from the Helix for so many years, I learned that, you can put up to 3 overdrives in front of an amp model and really change the character of it and make it into something better than it is. That's what I'm doing with this, using a pair of overdrives. Also, some compression, which is normally not a thing I'm into in front of an overdriven amp, but when there's pedals involved, good times. So, you wanna? All right, here we are over at the FM3 edit. This preset today is utilizing no gate because, but I'm pushing the overdrive amounts to the point where you might start to need a gate depending on how hot your pickups are. For me, they're not that hot. I've got a super distortion in the bridge on my gold top and then a PAF master. So they're both mid-level gain pickups. If you're using, EMG 85s, you're probably going to want to put a gate in there on everything you use. So the compressor is the optical compressor, and not a ton of mix on this one because I don't like a ton of compression on my overdriven presets. But when it comes to these overdrive pedals in front of an amp, it really does help to restore some amp-like quality, or create, for that matter. Now, this particular preset has four scenes: mid clean, which is the middle pickup position on my guitar; the mild crunch; split clean, which is my 80s sounding clean, heavily modulated with a single coil; and then the big crunch. Pushing the expression forward will give you a lead sound for all of these, and I'll show you how and why. Well, the why, not so much, but the how, you bet. So this is the mid clean, which is, clean, blah, blah, blah. No pitch, no drives. The amp is the Plexi 100 watt jumped. Now, there's a bunch of things being controlled here. So the treble drive and the normal drive are set pretty low so you can get a clean sound. But I've connected them both to the pedal 1. So we look inside, they're both on the pedal 1, and when I push the expression forward, we go from, 2.36 to 3 point whatever, and then, on there. So I'm increasing the drives just for the leads. So for the stock sounds, like the overdrive sounds, there's none of that. But this is how you get the lead sound. And also, when we go over to the ideal page, I've set the master volume, so it increases as well. And that's a big part of the volume boost that you get. Cool. I've done the usual stuff. Adjusted the transformer matching, power supply, increased the splice sag, set the variac to where I like to have things. I've set my favorite speaker impedance curve to the Brit Greenback. That's my favorite one. And then added a little bit of dynamics right here. Some output compression. As for the, everything else is pretty standard. I do use the input trim because my pickups push the front end a little bit hot, and they're medium output pickups, so I back it off just a hair. from the standard 1.000. The cabinet on this particular one is a 4x12 basket weave G12H 30 watt. And it's just a single cabinet. I'm not really, interested in using dual cabs because the single sounds great. Maybe if I use this at a rehearsal and I find that I need it, then maybe I'll change my opinion on that. But I don't know. Hard to say. Set the low cut and the high cut accordingly. The reverb is blah, blah, blah. Feliz, blah, blah, blah. The London plate, I really like it. Oh, also when you push the expression forward, you get more mix on the reverb. So it makes your leads more fun. And that's what it's all about, man. Making leads more fun. The pre-EQ or the parametric EQs that I have set up here, I have one for each output. And the reason for the outputs is because one goes to my monitor in the room, the other goes to the recording desk, and that is connected to my monitors. So the KRK Rocket 5s, whatever. And they're different, they don't have as much bottom end. So I'm boosting the bottom end on that one as opposed to the Laney FFR12 that I have that has a lot more bottom end. So I'm pulling down some just for my ears in the room. For the recorded bit, that you're going to hear, you're getting this one, this curve. And then the outputs, blah, blah, blah. I set my scene levels accordingly on both, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let's go to the mild crunch, show you what's up. Now, with drives, we're using the SDD preamp, and those change per scene. The two scenes that they're on for the mild and the big crunch. You can see what's up. Big crunch isn't that much bigger on the SDD, but then again, it's not the main, thing that's happening overdrive wise. I am using a bunch of the EQing because I think that the graphic EQ is super powerful at tone shaping and making this more amp-like by reducing some top end and increasing some bottom. Especially when using this particular overdrive, the MCMLXXXI explosive space modulator. I don't even know what that's based on. I have no idea. But I really like it because it sounds like an amp right out of the, an overdriven amp. Now on the big crunch, it's using quite a bit more. I am doing a similar thing with the EQ, increasing some bottom end and reducing the top end. I'm using a little bit of flange. I'm not a big flange fan, but with this particular preset, it sounds really good. And then the delay is in, over here running parallel with a very low mix or low input gain. The mix is 100% just because we're, running it in parallel. The reverb is the same, blah, blah, blah. Now, the second overdrive, or what I was going to say, not doing anything with the tone shaping. I sometimes will set these to like, and then just to set my absolute bottom and top on those. Yeah, similar thing. Let me save that because I haven't recorded the guitar for this yet, so we'll see if that makes any difference. Probably not. Now, the split clean is utilizing some pitch shifting, and quite a bit. Negative 13, positive 13 with some delay on it, and a big mix, along with some flange and some reverb. So, it's got 4 sounds. Push the expression forward, get your leads. Pretty slick. Want to hear it? There you go, everybody. Oh, good time. Overdrive fun. Let me tell you, this is one of the ways to go for me, because you can get really great overdriven sounds. You just got to pick through all of the overdrives and see which ones speak to you. This particular one, the MC-M46BQ37 explosive space modulator, is one of the great ones for me because it sounds very amp-like right, when you click on it, right when you first put it in the signal path. So, that's a great one. Put the SDD preamp in front of it or the FET boost in front of it, and oh man, watch it come alive. So just figure out which ones do that for you in front of whatever amp models you're choosing. I mean, there's so many choices. This is going to take the better part of a year for me to figure out all of my favorites, because I'm spending an entire day just putting together this one thing. And I mean, probably more than that. I started it on Friday, but it didn't really work out on Friday. So I was not as succinct as I wanted to be. So there. You can get this on my website. I'll send it to my web guy. It'll be up on the FM3 free presets page of scottminch.com. It uses stock IRs, like all of my presets will, for the FM3, because I think they're all fantastic. I mean, they're not all fantastic, but the stock IRs in this thing are fantastic compared to stock cabs and other units. I'm not talking about the Helix. Or am I? I'm looking at you. Line 6 and more. Atomic amplifier. Whatever. It's fine. I didn't come here to take shots at those other units. But, we know what's up. So, I will see you on Wednesday with another Name That Riff. Come on back. Subscribe, share, like, all that bullshit if you want. Check out my presets that are on the free page. And eventually, I'll put together some preset packages for different, times, eras of guitar, different specific genres, grunge, heavy metal, 70s rock, 60s psychedelic, whatever, good times. So I'll see you Wednesday. And until then, rock on.